Welcome to CEO Money. Michael Yorba here with Mervyn Price, and special guest on the show is going to be Rick Henry. Up next, we've got Rod Smith, founder, CEO of Buying Collective Holdings. Rod, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you today.
Rod, let's talk about Clean Revolution and let's talk about the company. But before we get there, tell us a bit about yourself and what stimulated to make this change.
Well, you know, I grew up in the phenomenon of Costco. I saw how millions of people flocked to Costco because they could get wholesale pricing on foods that would normally be available at retail prices. Yet, about 10 years ago, I recognized the tremendous interest and growth in the clean food movement. And when I say clean food, I'm talking about organic foods, but more importantly, foods that are not contaminated with genetically modified organisms or toxic poisons or synthetics, you know, all the harmful ingredients that are found in so many foods today. So I realized that, hey, nobody's offering these foods at wholesale. They're only available at very expensive prices through traditional retailers, online retailers. And I thought maybe there's an opportunity to serve the public by creating a way to drive prices down for clean foods, making them affordable for everybody, taking advantage of the online phenomenon to use the internet to make deliveries available directly to the consumer at home with free shipping. So that was the concept. I felt there was a big opportunity, and the market's done nothing but grown since then, and we've really created a perfect business model to attract millions of consumers, just like Costco did back in the early 70s.
Congratulations. Talk about your supply chain, because this food is organic. Basically, it's perishable, and you've got to have a very complex and very detailed and well-controlled supply chain for that. How do you manage that from the field to the door?
Well, first of all, we're starting out with manufactured goods. There are 500 to 600 really outstanding clean food manufacturers in the United States that provide foods for everything from breakfast to lunch to dinner and in between meal snacks. And these are shelf-stable products. We also stock frozen and refrigerated foods. Of course, we've patented our new technology for living produce, but we're going to take it one step at a time. Right now, we're stocking and delivering clean foods that are shelf-stable, that are typically good for the pantry, the freezer, or the refrigerator. And then we're going to move into living produce, and we're going to become more vertically integrated, getting into the production and processing of essential foods like proteins, nuts and seeds, grains, and other types of produce, root crops, and so on. So we're not going to be able to do it all at once, but our current offering is sufficient enough to attract millions of customers, and then we'll eventually capture more and more of their food budget.
Rod, you're making me hungry. Michael.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions for you, Rod, and thank you for coming on to the show. We really didn't get any time to get your entrepreneurial management background and bring that out, because from what I'm looking at here, you've already gone through the NASDAQ listing for one of your other companies. What was it, Buyers United and Buyers Online, right?
That's correct, and I appreciate you bringing it up. I don't feel comfortable tooting my own horn, but we did have very successful beginnings with that company that turned into InContact. That's the new name on the NASDAQ. And if you've been following the market, a few months ago, InContact sold for $900 million. So it was a good success story and something I was very proud to start and to be a major part of in the early years. But I'll tell you what we're doing right now will make that opportunity pale in comparison. We're talking about something really big here with Buying Collective Holdings.
All right, you're going to use that through what process? Reg A Plus, something else? What are your thoughts on with this company?
Well, the structure of Buying Collective Holdings is eventually to hold numerous subsidiaries. Our short-term strategy is to offer private placements, which we're doing right now, doing a little crowdfunding. But within the next 6 months, we plan to file a Reg A Plus offering after obtaining approval for listing on NASDAQ. So our goal is to be a NASDAQ-listed company within the next year after completing a major financing through Reg A Plus. And then, as I was alluding to with the other subsidiaries that we're starting to put in place, we have the ability to do Reg A Plus financings again and again to grow out those subsidiaries.
That sounds like an exceptional model. Walk the potential investor in through the verticals that you're going to be breaking out and where you're going to take this going forward. We've got probably about 5 or 6 minutes, so you don't have to rush that one.
Okay. Well, first of all, we've entered into a contract agreement, for example, with Dayboat Seafood. This is a very successful small seafood company in Florida, on the east coast of Florida, that fishes the Atlantic and Caribbean seas. They currently source millions of pounds of wild-caught tuna, swordfish, and really dozens of other varieties. Through that acquisition, we will be able to drop direct food cost to the consumer by over 60% off current prices. So, for example, if you're a big tuna fan and you're buying ahi tuna from the fishmonger, you're paying somewhere in the neighborhood of $29 a pound. Through Green Polka Dot Box, our distribution company, you'll be able to get wild-caught seafood at probably around $11.50 a pound. And when I'm talking about wild-caught seafood, I mean ahi tuna as a direct comparison. Of course, many of the species will be a lot less. But the point is that by acquiring the company and eliminating all the middle costs of distribution, we can really dramatically lower prices for the consumer so they can get wild-caught seafood, flash frozen, delivered to their door, which is the best form to get it in, and have huge savings. Another opportunity, we have several grass-fed beef ranches under contract for acquisition right now that we will fund out of our Reg A Plus offering, and it's the same basic story. The current market price for grass-fed beef is averaging around $11.99 a pound. Once we complete the acquisitions and produce these beef products for direct consumption by our customers, we'll see an average price of about $3.99 a pound ground beef, as well as $2.99 a pound, which if anybody really knows what the market pricing, they understand that that's a huge drop over current retail pricing for grass-fed beef. The model applies to many other properties. We have a late summer organic navel orange orchard that we're buying, and again, prices will drop from currently $5 to $6 a pound for organic navel oranges down to $1.99 a pound. The strategy here is that, as we start to become vertically integrated and introduce these amazing values to consumers, the old word of mouth effect will kick in. They'll tell their friends and family because they won't be able to get these kinds of outstanding products anywhere else at anything close to these prices. So that's a big part of our vertical integration strategy. And something we haven't talked about yet is our health merchant network that we're building, which is really extraordinary. If I may, I'd like to comment about that real quickly.
Sure. We've got about 3 minutes.
Well, we knew that it would be a lot more difficult to sell the public on a brand name that they didn't know and trust. And so a couple of years ago, we started working on creating a digital application that would enable current market influencers that already have their own customers to essentially take an online store for selling our product line. All of the foods that we're assembling from manufacturers and through vertical integration, they have the opportunity now to sell under their own brand name directly to their own customers. It's called the Health Merchant Program. We have signed contracts now, 5-year commitments. These are exclusive contracts with 265 market influencers that all have their own customer bases, and collectively they have direct reach and influence over about 45 million customers. We're getting ready to turn those stores on now. So we've come full circle. Not only have we developed the expertise to source and fulfill extraordinary products at great value, we've built our own distribution network to bypass traditional distribution. So we can go direct to consumers, provide a superior product at a much lower price, and we do that through the engagement of market influencers that already have the trust relationship with the customer. The market influencers pay for their store. They pay $5,000. They have a store, $195 a month, and their customers get to shop and with the lowest prices guaranteed in the market. Then the health merchant retains 10% profit on all sales generated. We become their fulfillment partner. We offer, in essence, a turnkey solution. Our digital application is a lot like Uber in one sense that Uber built a platform, a digital application for people that owned automobiles to offer services to people that needed rides. We created a digital application for market influencers to be able to sell organic and non-GMO foods, clean foods online directly to their own customers without having to spend the years in R&D and development and the millions of dollars on the platform that we did. So we put them in business instantly so they can monetize their own customer bases.
Right.
That's what we've built, and our potential is extraordinary.
I could go on like this for an hour with you, but we've got to end this segment right now. Thank you so much for being our guest on the show.
My pleasure.
Rod Smith, founder, CEO, Bind Collective Holdings, Inc., bchinc.com. All right, you've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba, Mervyn Price, and guest host Rick Henry. Up next, Pete Rose, chairman and founder of Hit King Baseball, with his partner, CEO Johnny Johnson. We'll be right back.